My mother-in-law said I wasn't good enough for her son. At the divorce hearing, she begged me to stay. When I first met Ryan's mom, Carol, she looked me up and down. I was 23, working 2 jobs just to afford my crappy studio apartment, while Ryan was finishing his business degree. Every family dinner felt like a job interview. I kept failing. She'd make these little comments about how Ryan needed someone who could support his ambitions, and how maybe I should focus on finding my own path first. The worst part was when she'd talk to Ryan like I wasn't even there. She'd say things like, "You know, honey, Jessica from our neighborhood is doing so well at her marketing job," or "Your cousin's girlfriend just bought her own condo." Real subtle stuff. Ryan would just nod and change the subject, never once defending me. 2 years into our marriage, things got worse. Carol would drop by unannounced with homemade meals, always making sure to mention how she wasn't sure if I knew how to cook Ryan's favorite foods properly. She'd reorganize my kitchen while helping clean up, moving everything around so I couldn't find anything for weeks. When Ryan got his promotion at the accounting firm, she threw him a party and forgot to invite me until the last minute. The breaking point came during Thanksgiving. Carol spent the entire meal talking about how disappointed she was that we hadn't given her grandchildren yet, looking directly at me like it was somehow all my fault. Then she started showing pictures of her friend's daughter who had just had twins, going on about how wonderful it must be to have a daughter-in-law who prioritizes family. That night, I told Ryan we needed to talk about his mom's behavior. He got defensive immediately, saying I was being too sensitive and that she was just trying to help. When I pointed out specific examples, he said I was imagining things and that Carol really did like me. She just had a different way of showing it. 6 months later, Ryan asked for a divorce. He said we'd grown apart and that maybe we rushed into marriage too young. I knew Carol had been in his ear about it, but I was honestly relieved. I was tired of feeling like I wasn't good enough for their perfect family. The divorce was supposed to be simple since we didn't have kids or much property to split, but Carol showed up to the mediation meeting anyway, sitting behind Ryan like some kind of legal advisor. She kept whispering things to him and passing him notes. At one point, she actually interrupted the mediator to ask if I was planning to keep Ryan's last name, saying it would be inappropriate since I was no longer part of their family. Then something unexpected happened. The mediator asked about our shared checking account, and Ryan admitted he'd been taking money out for months to pay for his mom's credit card bills. Apparently, Carol had racked up about $8,000 in debt and had been guilt-tripping Ryan into covering it. She'd told him it was temporary and made him promise not to tell me. I watched Carol's face turn bright red as Ryan explained how she'd been buying expensive clothes and furniture, always saying she'd pay him back next month. The mediator noted it as marital asset depletion, which meant I was entitled to half of that money back. Carol started panicking. She grabbed Ryan's arm and whispered something urgently to him. Then she did the most shocking thing. She turned to me and said, "Maybe we should all talk about this privately. I'm sure we can work something out that benefits everyone." After the meeting, Carol cornered me in the parking lot. She was crying actual tears, begging me to reconsider the divorce. She said Ryan had been miserable since I moved out and that she realized she'd made a huge mistake. She offered to pay me back immediately and promised she'd stay out of our marriage completely. The funniest part was when she said, "I know I haven't always been welcoming, but I can see now that you're exactly what Ryan needs. You keep him grounded." The same woman who spent 3 years telling everyone I wasn't good enough was suddenly my biggest fan. I just laughed and told her it was way too late for that. Ryan could figure out his own problems with her financial drama. I signed the divorce papers that afternoon and never looked back.